He's made history with Hetty's incredible rock anthem that really, I think, changed the tide of rock and roll at that time with Flat as a Pancake. An incredible vocalist, went on to lead Petra and took them where they've never been before. And I believe started the modern rock worship movement with Petra Praise. He's never stopped, never slowed down. His timeless voice is timeless, incredible. And all the things he's doing, we're going to find out today and catch up with none other than John SCHLITT. How you doing, John?
Brad, doing good, bud. It's good talking to you.
Man, it's good talking to you, man. You never change, John. I don't know what you're eating or what regiment you got, but how do you not age, John?
Well, I just stay busy. You age when you start sitting around and start thinking about how old you are.
I got you.
And, yeah.
Staying in motion is an understatement of the year for you. I mean, between everything you're doing, also with the Jay Sekulow band, and then your solo stuff, I'm still loving your album, Go. Folks, you look at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see exactly where to go to buy John's music and to catch up with him. But John, for those who haven't got to see you, catch us up. What are you doing right now?
Right now, one of the reasons why we want to talk today is there's a major event happening on the 23rd of October. My old band, Head East, that has been around. I left the band, oh my gosh, in 1980. I actually got fired and deserved it. But they've been around since then. And we're going to do our last final sing together, the three remaining guys of the original band. Going to do all of Flat as Pancake, which it's a classic. It's a classic record. I praise God for it. Had a song on Couldn't Never Any Reason, which was pretty cool. So we're going to do that album with the band that is called Head East now. A bunch of great guys. And that, I think that's probably the last time that the three of us will be performing together on stage, which is a shame because it was nice to get back together with them and rekindle friendships that sort of disappeared for a while. And so I'm doing that this month, working actually reintroducing the Union Center Saints' first album with it's actually being repressed with more songs on it. That's going to be interesting. I'm pretty excited about that. My solo record, which came out a week before COVID in 2020.
I know, man.
And it disappeared before it ever got started. So I'm still waiting on that one to finally get its chance to come out and I can tour it. It's an album called Go, which I love.
Oh, awesome music.
And then you mentioned Jay Sekulow. Oh my gosh, that band is amazing. I get to work with them every month. And although the last 2 months we've been on hiatus because of a death in a major death in the family, we sort of put everything on hold. And we'll be starting out again in October. In November and December, but this October we'll probably do a special best of type of thing at the end of the month.
Wow.
But we're just, you get to stay busy. And then if I'm not doing that, I'm in my shop building wood products. So it just, you stay busy. You have fun. You live life to its fullest.
Well, John, it looks like you're doing that. And I didn't know that you were a wood. I knew you were a wordsmith. I knew that you were a vocal craftsman, so to speak, but I didn't know that you were a woods craftsman until I saw one of your posts on social media. And man, how long have you been a woodsman, a woods craftsman in your garage?
Well, my dad built every house we ever lived in. And so I was around a carpenter my whole life. And isn't that funny? Carpenter, both physically and spiritually. Anyway, and he didn't want to teach me anything because he said that people just take advantage of it. And I'm going, well, okay. So he didn't really try to teach me anything, but I watched and learned, and it felt pretty natural. I think the first project I ever built was a set of bunk beds for my kids.
Wow.
And it just started steamrolling after that. One day my daughter comes in and says, Dad, would you see this armoire? I need 3 armoires that looked just like that. Do you think you could build it for me? And I said, sure. And it ended up, she had some pretty influential clients, and I built them for them. And all of a sudden I'm getting calls from all my friends in the Christian music world going, John, you build this. We don't want that garbage stuff. We want the real thing. And I said, send me a picture and I'll see what I can do. And so it started that way. And it's just sort of word of mouth. It's been fun. Been fun.
Well, you know, we know someone who was a good carpenter and a good stonemason. And he was renowned for finishing projects early too. That's Jesus.
Amen.
Or Yesu back in the day.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, he's still rebuilding lives and building new things. John, you know, going back to Head East now, that's very exciting. Mm-hmm. You know, I know that I have a feeling that being you and having sung those songs so much in your past and talked about that it may be routine, you know, recalling those moments and those songs, but you know, never been any reason. I had never heard anything like that song before it came out. The sheer artistry of that, the changes in the song and the places the song went, the different instrumentations that would come to the forefront during the solo time. It was masterful artistry. And it's amazing for those who may not know, you guys were self-produced. You were recorded, and you had the labels coming after you because it was so innovative. You and your friends there at college, and my goodness, you really did change the game, I believe, for rock and roll when you incorporated also the new keyboards at the time and just the new movements I had never heard in any other rock song before its time, John. And you are a history maker, brother. And Head East now, I'm so excited.
It's a very intimate setting. It's done at a special, actually it's an old classic hotel where they have a lot of old you know, classic bands that play there. It's very cool. I mean, every major classic band has played there. It's sort of the place to do, but it's only like 400 seats if it's full. It's a very cool way to end my expression with them. But right now there's still seats. You know, there's still seats because of COVID. Everybody's scared to death to do things in advance. Wildwood Springs Lodge. Wildwood Springs Lodge. And if you Google that, I guarantee you there's only one in the world. And they will be, you know, anxious to help you. The last time we did, we had people coming from about 4 or 5 different states. Actually,
I believe it.
And I got a feeling, again, because this is the last one, I've got folks actually coming in on private jets too.
Wow.
There's a little airport about 8 miles away, and they're going to fly in and see the show. So it's one of those things where, I mean, after 50 years, and actually this is 52 years here, we are the 50th anniversary started in 2019. That was our first concert in this very place.
Wow.
And we were going to do it over about a year period. And so it started in 2019 and it was going to go through 2020, but we know what happened there. So it's going to finally end up in 2021 at this location. It's going to be fun. It's the only difference between the first one and now is we don't have Mike anymore. Mike Somerville was able to be with us on that one. And he passed away beginning of last year. And so there's just the 3 of us now. It was 4, now it's 3. And Mike was the one who wrote Never Been Any Reason. He was 23 when he wrote that song.
Whoa.
One of the reasons why those songs, especially one of the reasons why Fly as a Pancake was such a fun record, is because all the songs were developed in the bars.
Yeah.
We wrote them and rewrote them and rewrote them until we watched the people get excited about it. And it was a test of time there. We kept on rewriting until this worked and this. And that song probably has, and this is music genre, but it probably has at least 3 hooks in it.
Oh yeah.
Normally a song that has a good hook, that's a hit.
Yeah.
I think
know.
this one had about 3 major hooks in it, and that's why it's lived such, through the test of time. And I use that word twice, but I'll try not to do that again. But it really fit the bill. And until you'd said that, I've gone, where we came from, we were from the Midwest, and everybody had a keyboard player in the Midwest.
Right.
But Roger was a very dominant character, and he was always very dominant in his leads and stuff. And that's why the intro is so dominant. That's why the lead is so dominant. And I think if there was any difference at all between Head East and everyone else, it's that it really was a dominant character in that song.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can still hear da, 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 da. I can still hear the hook of the keyboard solo. I mean, gosh, who doesn't? And John, I hope someone is filming this event and recording it. If not, I know someone who might be able to help that happen, but I would sure love to be there. And, people like you, brother, I interviewed Ted Nugent last week, and
I saw
that was a lot of fun.
Ted,
Now,
I love Ted. I used to, when I toured with him, he was the most practical madman there ever was. Very practical businessman, but boy, he put on a show that was real. It was real, but there was two Teds, the business Ted and the radical Ted, and it was fun to watch him. I love seeing that he's making differences now.
Well, I don't think that you've ever worn a raccoon tail like he did on stage.
That was his thing. I just kept my blonde hair, or whatever color it is now.
But you know what, though? And I didn't know that you toured with him, but it doesn't surprise me, John. You've worked with so many other greats as well. After interviewing him, though, I thought about you as well. Of course, this is an honor to always be able to talk to you, John. I mean, I don't know how many interviews we've done, television and radio, but I don't want to stop anytime soon because you're always doing something new. And yet you have this timeless voice, man. You still rock it. And you are a part of the soundtrack of so many people's lives, John. You've inspired so many people. You've also influenced people as they were getting married and having children too. Your songs and your rock and roll. But you know what? You never cease to amaze me. And I hope someone's recording that. But after interviewing Ted, and of course, I had already got to interview you, and I thought, man, I wonder what it'd be like to get a Ted Nugent lick with a John SCHLITT vocal. And man, that wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised at that.
Oh no, we could mix well. Derek, his first singer, the singer that I knew, when we toured, Derek was singing lead with him. Right. And that was a great team. And I used to love listening to Cat Scratch Fever and all the rock and stuff that they were right in the middle of. We actually toured with Ted when he got his first gold record, which was actually very interesting because back then you could have a gold record after 350,000, and one of the last ones that he got a gold record at that amount, and then they changed it to 500,000, which put us back another 3 or 4 months. We're going, yeah, we're about there, and so I just remember that. But as far as Derek has a rock voice, and I could fit really well with Ted. Trust me.
But you know what? Ted wants to do some more stuff, as do I. And I tell you, it would thrill me to see a John SCHLITT vocal with a Ted Nugent guitar, brother.
You just tell him. I'm always open, man.
He's very patriotic, as are you, absolutely. And as are the band that you play with.
But with
Jay Sekulow.
I think we would love to have him play with the Sekulow band. I mean, as a guest, we have a lot of amazing guests, and I don't know why we haven't had Ted on yet. We've talked about it. We've talked about Ted. We've talked about 2 or 3 other really patriotic people that aren't afraid to tell let their opinions fly. So would love to have him. And so don't be surprised if that doesn't happen one of these days.
Well, I won't be surprised. Matter of fact, I might have a hand in helping. Who knows,
Excellent.
man?
That would, listen, that'd be fun. Seriously, it would be an honor to have Ted play with us.
Wow. Well, you know what? The Head East now coming up. What you're doing with the Jay Sekulow band and your album Go. It's a great album.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, John, can we hear just a little bit of one of those songs? What song would you recommend?
Oh,
I've got the album.
Okay.
I've already bought it, folks. You need to buy it too.
You did.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I would say probably Feel It is the rocker. Go is the MOR rock, and Fighting the Fight would be the mellow one. Of those three, but I also love Fake News, and I also love
Fake News.
Not Dead
Also
Yet.
a great video too.
Yeah, and done by a good friend of mine. Not a lot of money spent, but a lot of heart put into it, and I have a lot of fun with that. Yeah, you check it out on YouTube. It's there to enjoy. It's very relevant, especially right now. So it's just a fun record. It was made to be a rocker.
Right.
After doing The Greater Cause, I got so many people saying, "That's what we want, John. That's the kind of music we want." I said, okay. And I'll tell you what, The Greater Cause is a great record, at least in my opinion. That's, of course, it's like a father.
Oh, no, you can say that. I've listened to some of that.
And so my worry for Go was I going to be able to keep up with The Greater Cause? So I think it did.
Well, folks, here we go. Let's hear 30 seconds of Feel It.
Sometimes I feel like I'm losing control. Life can knock you down, it can rattle your soul. So what fight downright feels like I can't take it anymore. Here it comes again, and I'm right in the way. I ain't laying down, I got something to say. Gotta hold fast, outlast, take back all that. Everything is taken from me.
All right, John, I have heard that song before, and you know what? It rocks. And you rock, man. I saw somewhere online you were singing Hallelujah, the Hallelujah chorus.
And hitting those high notes.
Oh my gosh. How do you do that? I've always been a fan of Bon Jovi. I've always been a fan of a lot of these. And, of course, John Bon Jovi, man, he was, when you hear him sing Living on a Prayer, I thought they did a speed up thing. No, he really was hitting that back in the day. He's not hitting it now. But John, how do you continue? Well, what is there a regimen or something for singers out there? You are able to still hit those notes.
I do everything I'm not supposed to. I drink caffeinated drinks. I love ice cubes. Don't even get me close to honey and whatever that other garbage is. I like the tea. I can't stand that stuff. So it's a God thing. It really is.
Yeah.
He's allowed me to have a voice, and the way I developed in the bars, with singing with Head East.
Yeah.
I always had a voice. God had always given me a voice from the time I was 5 on. But as far as training it to start, I always had a high voice, but I had to train it to sing the real high stuff without falsetto.
Wow.
It took a while.
You sure do.
It took a while, but now, praise God, it's just a natural thing for me. So I really do praise God for it because it's so much fun. And it does open up doors. I get to sing on a lot of other people's stuff now, and which is an honor. I'm going to sing on a record tomorrow of a guy who I just met. He's a real nice guy, and it'll be fun to do it. It keeps me in the studio when I'm not doing that. It's either the studio or my shop. Actually, to tell you the truth, either one's okay with me, but it's fun to be in the studio. I stay cleaner.
Well, John, whether it's your woodworking, whether it's your music, those are the things that last. Poetry, paintings, music, and then of course tactile artistic expressions of sculpture and houses and architecture and you name it, pottery and you name it. And I tell you, John, you just never cease to amaze me. All the things that you do. I didn't even know that you were a craftsman until it's been a couple of months. But all that to say is, even your collaborations, not just with the Jay Sekulow band, which you and John Elefante of Kansas, formerly of Kansas, and you guys do all the great songs that take us back to a better time. But you also you touched on it briefly. Is it the Union of Sinners and Saints or the Union of Saints and Sinners? Which is it?
Union of Sinners and Saints with Billy.
Tell us about that.
Now that's fun. Actually, we did an album. Billy Smiley and I got together, and I've always been a big Whiteheart fan.
Yeah.
And he won't say it, but he's been a Petra fan too. But it was Billy's a go-getter.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, John, we need to get together. We need to get together and write. And that's like in Nashville, that's like saying hello, to me.
Right.
And he would say that, and I said, yeah, sure. Here's my number, sure. Yeah. He called me. It surprised me. And he said, I'm in the studio. I thought, maybe, can we get together? And I said, when? Now. I go, okay, he's actually serious. So we went in, and it's actually been many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. It seems like yesterday. And so we started writing and just writing. And we started saying, man, this stuff is pretty good. Let's record it because we're in the studio. Why not? We got buddies. They can come in and do their thing, and we'll just see how it sounds. And we ended up putting out an album called The Union of Sinners and Saints, and which in turn created a band, which in turn we went out for just a few dates. And really, because our musicianship, they're all A artists. They all want top dollar. So nobody could afford us. So we finally, especially a band that no one's heard of before, no matter what the track record is, you've got to have stuff that's been played on radio. And our stuff is not going to get played on Christian radio. Trust me. It's just, we're not that formula that they want, including the young puppies, that we're not.
Well, can I just say it? You're not the cookie cutter, prepackaged, hear one, hear them all. God help me make it through the day kind of band. You're a little more righteous and victorious than that. And when I say righteous, I mean rocking as well.
Well, we knew it, and we knew that this was really more for people that really like where Petra and Whiteheart was.
Right.
We're continuing that sound, and there are enough people that are appreciative, and it's fun. And again, it's fun. And we squeeze it in between all the other stuff we're doing. So, but now we have some people interested that want to distribute it.
Right.
But we've added 3 new songs and a medley to the original record, and that should be interesting. A new cover. So all the people that already bought the CD have to go buy it again, and I'm sorry about that. But I think they'll be excited. It's a fun record. The first one was very good. It was an experiment. It was a new thing. Right. This one has more depth to it, and it'll be fun. And again,
so you're in process right now. This new record?
Yeah, it's actually it's being finished now. It'll be out on Gerda Records within probably within 2 weeks.
Wow!
Just look up Gerda Records, and they'll have it. A new cover, really a new album, because the songs that are added are pretty. I mean, it's like saying, yeah, my favorite kid is my third. It's just when things are added, it's always better than it was before, So,
right.
What can I say?
Well, I don't think anyone's going to mind of getting that project with new additions to it. John, there's no rules anymore in television and in music. No. And, I mean, man, I hope that they pre-sell albums too. In my own little corner of the world, I did albums and I would pre-sell them, and I didn't have to pay for the production, because people that believed in it would pre-buy it. And I know you have enough John Schlitt followers out there. Now Justin Bieber has believers. So what would John Schlitt followers be? What would that?
Schlitt heads.
Yeah. Well, I want to be your first honorary Schlitt head. And
I'm sorry. There's already a club. You'll just have to join it. I'm sorry.
Well,
And
John,
fanatics. They are fanatics too, buddy. You would work. You'd fit in just fine.
that's right, man. Make me one. Sign me up. I want to be a Schlitt head. Well, John, can we hear one of the songs, Union of Sinners and Saints?
Yes, the song. Well, one of two. I think this song has history. It was done by Collective Soul. I think that's who wrote it. Then Russ Taff did it.
Wow.
And no one is going to do it better than he does.
Wow.
Russ Taff. This is Russ song. It's called "I Still Believe."
Yes.
But Billy was bound and determined that we were going to do it. I didn't want to because no one's going to do it as good as Russ does.
Wow.
But we did a rock version of it that's not too bad. Again, not as good as Russ's, but it's not too bad.
But I still believe through the pain and through the grief, through the lies and through the storms, through the cries and through the wars, I still believe.
And I actually saw Russ about 4 days ago, and I apologized to him. I said, Russ, I'm sorry that we did this song. Nobody is ever going to do it as good as you. And I didn't want to do it because I felt it was insulting to you. And he looks at me, don't you say that. You did. It's amazing what but I just wanted on record to let him know that nobody's going to sing that song as good as he does. But I tried.
I met Russ in person a while back, and he is just the sweetest guy. And you know what? I don't know if you still do the old guys lunch or not in Nashville, but talk about an all-star cast there and just the most talented, wonderful, history-making, living legend, real guy group. Brian invites me a lot, and I can't wait to take him back up on it. And all that to say is, John, it is such an honor. People, check out johnwschlitt.com. You'll be glad that you did. Stay up with this guy, and he ain't stopping anytime soon. I hope to make that event with Head East now, but as always, John, it's such a pleasure and an honor to talk to you, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching, folks. Thank you, John.
You're welcome, buddy. Thank you.